Hey guys, ClayRepairs here. Today I'll show you how to change spark plugs on your Volkswagen Passat. Unfortunately, I lost all the audio on these video clips, so this is 100% voiceovers. Anyway, let's get into the video. We will be using these NGK Laser Platinum spark plugs. As always, links are in the description. Along with spark plugs, you need a ratchet and socket with the correct size for the spark plugs and any other bolts you'll need to take off. Also, safety glasses are handy as well. Now, under the hood, take off the plastic cover, which reveals the locations of the 4 coils, which the spark plugs are underneath. The next thing to do is to take off the 4 nuts, one on each coil, and take the wire off. Next, take out the bolt holding in each coil. There's 4 total. The next thing I did is pop open the plastic cover over the wires, that way I can unclip each connector from the coil. After all the bolts are out and the connectors are loose, you should be able to pull off each coil to get to your spark plug underneath. And sometimes these coils are in there pretty good and they might take a good yank to get them out. Once you have all the coils out, you should be able to get your spark plug socket with an extension and ratchet, stick it in there, and get the spark plugs out. This is one of the easier parts of the whole thing. Now before we put the new spark plugs in, we want to make sure that the gap is correct, so I'm taking my feeler gauge set to spec and making sure all the spark plugs are correctly gapped. Now it's time to put in your new spark plugs. Pop them on the end of the spark plug socket, drop them in there, and thread them in by hand. Once it's snugged by hand, you should do about a half turn with the ratchet to get it to spec. After you get the spark plugs in and tightened down, push the coil back on, attach the wiring harness, and secure it with the bolt, wire, and nut from before. After you have all the wiring connected and the bolts secured like they were before, press the plastic cover back into place on top of the engine, close the hood, and you're done.